Meet Fred. He is holding a single silver coin and staring at a chocolate bar. Today, we are going to tell you a massive financial secret. It is a secret the traditional banking system desperately hopes you never figure out. Welcome back to our Explain Like I'm 5 series. Today, we are decoding the silent thief that lives in your wallet. We are talking about inflation. It sounds complicated, but we are going to make it incredibly simple to understand. Imagine Fred goes to his favorite candy store every single year on his birthday. He always brings the exact same shiny coin. When he was young, that single coin bought a massive, thick chocolate bar that lasted all week. A few years later, Fred brings the same coin, but the chocolate bar is slightly smaller. A decade passes. Fred brings his coin again, but now he only gets a tiny, bite-sized piece of chocolate. He is completely confused. Fred thinks the chocolate company is just being greedy and shrinking the candy. While companies do shrink products, there is a much deeper secret here. The chocolate bar did not actually change its true fundamental value. The shocking truth is that the chocolate did not shrink. The real power of Fred's coin simply weakened. This is the core concept of purchasing power. The number on your money stays the same, but its actual muscle completely disappears. Think of your money like an ice cube resting on a warm table. If you leave it sitting there doing nothing, it is guaranteed to slowly melt away. Inflation is the heat in the room. It silently vaporizes your hard-earned wealth. You might have $100 saved in your piggy bank today. In 10 years, you will open it and still see exactly $100. But when you take it to the store, it will only buy you $50 worth of actual goods. To understand why this happens, we need to travel back in time. Let us look at the year 1950. Back then, a single dollar bill was incredibly powerful. It felt like holding a magic ticket to the entire city. In 1950, $1 could buy you a cup of coffee, a movie ticket, and a gallon of gas with change left over. Today, that exact same dollar bill cannot even buy you a single pack of chewing gum at the supermarket. Why did the dollar lose 99% of its power? The answer lies in how money is actually made. For a very long time, paper money was just a receipt for real gold. You could trade your dollar for physical gold at any bank. This was called the gold standard. Because there is a limited amount of physical gold in the world, the government could not just print endless amounts of paper money. The money supply was tightly restricted by physical nature. For decades, this strict limitation protected the purchasing power of the middle class. You could trust your savings. But in 1971, the rules of the global financial system were completely and permanently rewritten. The government officially broke the link to physical gold. Money was no longer backed by anything tangible. It became what we call fiat currency. Fiat simply means it has value only because the government demands that it does. Suddenly, central banks gained a terrifying superpower. They could print new money out of thin air with zero physical limits. Whenever governments needed to pay for expensive projects or bailouts, they just turned on the printing press. This is exactly where the great secret reveals itself. Value is always driven by supply and demand. If you have a rare comic book, it is incredibly valuable because there is only one. Scarcity is what gives things real worth. But if someone suddenly prints 1 million copies of that exact same comic book, the value instantly drops to zero. The exact same rule applies to your national currency. Supply destroys value when it is not carefully controlled. Every single time the central bank prints a brand new dollar, euro, or pound, it steals a tiny fraction of value from the money already sitting in your savings account. They are mathematically diluting the entire money supply. This is the hidden tax of inflation. You do not see a line item for it on your paycheck or your bank statement, but you definitely feel the pain when you try to buy groceries or pay your monthly rent in the real world. This is why keeping your life savings in a standard checking account is extremely dangerous. You are trying to store your financial energy in a container that has a massive, invisible leak. The system wants you to remain ignorant. If you just hold on to paper money, you are guaranteed to lose purchasing power every single year. So, how do the wealthy protect themselves from this melting ice cube? They know a secret strategy to stop the leak completely. The wealthy do not hold large amounts of fiat currency. They use their melting paper money to buy hard assets as quickly as possible. Hard assets are things that are truly scarce and cannot be printed by a central bank. This includes prime real estate, profitable businesses, rare commodities, and decentralized digital networks. When the government prints more money, the price of these scarce assets naturally inflates. They float safely on the water. If you own a house, inflation actually works in your favor. The real value of your mortgage debt decreases over time, while the nominal price of your house goes up. You become wealthier simply by holding a physical asset. This creates the great divide between the rich and the poor. The poor hold cash and watch their chocolate bar shrink every year. The rich hold assets and watch their wealth expand effortlessly alongside the growing money supply. Fred understands this secret completely. He stops bringing his shrinking coin to the candy store. Instead, he uses his coin to buy a tiny piece of the actual chocolate factory. Now, he is an owner, not just a passive consumer. When the factory raises the price of chocolate to keep up with inflation, Fred actually benefits from the increase. He is legally protected from the melting ice cube because his wealth is anchored to a productive business. Your mission is to stop holding onto melting ice cubes. You must educate yourself on how to convert your depreciating paper money into appreciating hard assets. This is the only mathematical way to protect your purchasing power. Thank you for joining Fred in this episode of our Explain Like I'm 5 series. If this simple chocolate metaphor finally helped you understand the massive secret of inflation, please hit the like button right now. Sharing this video helps the algorithm spread financial education to people who are secretly losing their wealth. Do not let the system silently steal your purchasing power. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Leave a comment below telling us what basic item has shocked you the most with its price increase recently. We read every single comment to understand what you are facing in your local economy. The financial rules have changed, and you must adapt. Stay sharp. Start buying real assets, and remember that financial education is your best defense. We will see you in the next episode for another crucial breakdown.